Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Juliana Pepel. I am a white woman. I have brown hair and brown eye, and I'm wearing reading glasses and a black top. My role at the British Council is head of grant making. I work with colleagues across the UK and around the world to develop and deliver our arts grants program offer. In this video, we will share more about the assessment process for the Connections Through Culture program. We will cover the most recent application round, including the assessment criteria, areas of strength, and areas where applications could have been stronger. You will hear reflections from me and also from my British Council colleagues based around the world. The aim is to support you in developing future applications for the Connections Through Culture, but also on the British Council Collaborative Grants programs. Connections Through Culture is the British Council's international grants program supporting cultural partnerships between the UK and participating countries. At the heart of the program is meaningful collaboration between partners. The program supports new connections, exchange, and collaborations across arts and culture. It encourages co-creation, partnership development, and long-term international relationship building. It also supports cross-cultural and interdisciplinary collaboration, knowledge exchange, and shared learning. Examples of activity could include joint artistic projects, residencies, festivals, workshops, public or capacity building programs, and other forms of creative collaboration. For the 2025-26 round, the program received 905 applications. Of these, 770 were eligible and taken forward for assessment. The standards of applications was extremely high, which meant the process was very competitive. In 2026, the program is supporting 126 projects across 18 countries, with grants between 5 to 10,000 British pounds. All submitted applications were first checked for eligibility. Eligible applications were then assessed against 5 criteria: quality and artistic or creative merit, partnership and collaboration, feasibility and project management, audience or participant engagement and impact, and diversity, inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Assessors score each application against the assessment criteria using a scale from 1 to 5. The highest scoring applications were then taken forward to the recommendation panel for the final review.
My name's Simon and I'm based in Cardiff. I'm an Asian person with curly hair and I'm wearing glasses. At the British Council, I'm a grants manager in the arts department. For the last Connections Through Culture round, I worked on the application guide and helped with the assessment process in general. In the last round, a number of applications couldn't be taken forward because they didn't meet the eligibility criteria. We know how much time, energy, and care goes into preparing an application. We want applicants to make the best use of their time. Before starting your full application, please read the guidance carefully and check that your project, partner, budget, timeline, and activity meet the eligibility requirements. And this includes the partnership requirements, the delivery period, and the country grant limit.
We now want to share some of the key learnings from the 2025 application round. These reflections are based on what we saw across applications, including eligibility issues, areas where proposals could have been stronger, and examples of what assessors responded to positively. To keep this practical, we will focus on 2 areas: common mistakes and top tips for future applicants. Over 130 applications were deemed ineligible for the fund. Some applications were ineligible because the partners were sister organizations, the same organization operating in different countries, or both partners were based in the same country. Some proposals did not include a UK partner or requested funding above the maximum grant amount. Other applications were incomplete, did not provide enough detail for assessment, or were not submitted in English. We also saw proposals that were not primarily focused on arts and culture, were outside the program delivery timeline, or focus mainly on promoting previous work rather than developing meaningful collaboration, co-creation, or partnership development?
My name's Jennifer Goodley, and I'm based in Cardiff. I'm a white woman in my 30s with curly brown hair and blue eyes behind clear plastic glasses. I am the art manager for British Council Wales. For the last Connections to Culture round, I assessed applications and acted as the relationship manager for our successful Welsh project partners. Connections to Culture is a British Council arts grants programme, so your project must be clearly rooted in arts and culture. Research-only proposals, business development proposals, or projects without a clear artistic or cultural focus are not eligible. Please make sure your application clearly explains the creative or cultural activity at the heart of the project. Your budget should also reflect fair pay for artists, creatives, and arts workers across all partner countries, including relevant artist, practitioner, staffing, or freelance costs.
Checking the eligibility criteria carefully before submitting is one of the most important things applicants can do. When preparing a future application, there are a few key things to keep in mind. First, be clear about the collaboration. Explain who the partners are, why the partnership makes sense, what each partner will contribute, and how the project will support mutual benefit and shared decision-making. Second, describe the project clearly.
Hi, it's Simon again. One of the key things we learned is that clarity really matters. We know that many projects can be complex and involve several partners and activities, locations, and stages. However, assessors need to understand clearly what your project is about, what you plan to do, who is involved, and what the project is trying to achieve. A useful tip is to practice explaining your project to a trusted colleague or friend who doesn't know anything about the project. You can ask them what makes sense, what feels exciting, and what is still unclear. This can help you strengthen your application before submitting.
Assessors need to understand what you plan to do, why it matters, who is it for, and how it will be delivered. Third, think about ambition, reach, and legacy.
Kia ora, my name is Richard Knowles and I'm based in New Zealand. I'm a bald white man with glasses and I'm wearing a black shirt. At the British Council, I'm an arts program manager, and for the last Connections Through Culture round, I supported partners as they created their applications and then was also an assessor. We want to see that your project aims to have a meaningful legacy and impact in the communities you plan to work with. You should be realistic about audience reach, but please take time to consider how you plan to meaningfully engage with audiences and make a valuable difference with your work.
Strong applications explain who the project will engage, what impact it aims to create, and what value could continue beyond the funded activity. Finally, make sure your budget and timeline are realistic.
Hi, my name's Lisa Brooke and I'm based in the UK. I'm a woman in her mid-30s with light brown hair and glasses. At the British Council, my job is Film and Creative Technology Relationship Manager. For the last Connections Through Culture assessment round, I worked on film and creative technology assessments and allocating them to our pool of assessors. So please make sure your budget is carefully considered, and this includes important collaboration costs such as translation, interpretation, captioning, access support, travel, materials, marketing, or project management where these are relevant to your project. We can only assess your application alongside the budget you provide, so if your budget is missing an essential cost, we will assume you haven't considered it.
We hope these reflections are helpful as you prepare future applications. Please read the guidance carefully, check the eligibility criteria before applying, and make sure your proposal clearly demonstrates the partnership, collaboration, project plan, budget, and intended impact. You can find out more about the next Connections Through Culture funding round through the British Council Arts website. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing future applications.